Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Götz sa Cebu. Today's video is about working in the Philippines. I'm a German and I reside here for nearly 10 years. I started working as a call center agent here in Cebu about 3 years ago. My aim is to help you to understand things in the Philippines better and also its people in case you come here for a holiday or like me to retire one day. So please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. This time let's talk about working in the Philippines. I will explain who can work in the Philippines and what are the requirements needed. But I keep this video short, so there will be a second part soon about where and how you can find work and what are the things to encounter in that process. And for the disclaimer, this video cannot be fully detailed. And this video is neither tax nor legal advice. And for the eternal I know it all better folk out there, why are you not already a multimillionaire with your own YouTube channel? Okay, let's go back to the topic, who can work in the Philippines. The situation is a little bit complicated because of the fact that there is a big loophole in the law. Currently there are regulations only for such work that happens in the Philippines for a company based in the Philippines, like work as a call center employee in Manila or being the owner of a beach bar in Palawan. The simplest case, simply the tourist, is therefore also the easiest to answer, because as a tourist you are not allowed to work in the Philippines. With the tourist visa you can't work in a call center and you can't work as a bar owner either, because in both cases the one giving you the job is a domestic employer and the head office is in the Philippines. These are both jobs in the Philippines for a Philippine company. But if you have a tourist visa and do an online job for yourself as a YouTuber or maybe a software company based in the USA, then you can also work even as a tourist in the Philippines. Because it's a gray area, this working as a digital nomad is possible because the Philippines has not yet defined any regulations for this. Mostly tourists are just freelancers, so-called digital nomads, who move from one place to another. And just remember, when the law that says tourists don't get work permits was made, back then there was no internet. There was only physical work at a desk in a country. Digital nomads were simply unknown in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And until politicians notice something and then the apparatus starts to move, it takes decades. But why is it then a problem to work and earn money, for example, as a YouTuber in the Philippines? Quite simply because these people don't pay taxes, and it's logical that the government doesn't like that. The issue of high-earning YouTubers made it into the press more often in the recent years, so we can say the dragon has woken up. And immigration has always clearly stated its position that tourists who work here must expect deportation. Because the tourist visa is first intended for vacation and can be extended up to 3 years. And again, remember, the tourist visa regulations were put in place at a time when there was no internet. I linked you some press articles in the video description about that topic too. Which brings us to the next topic that has to do with work. Whoever works has to pay taxes. This is regulated worldwide. And as long as we are not Americans, we normal people pay taxes in the country where we have our center of life and our residence. Being German, I can tell that in Germany it's regulated that if you stay less than 183 days in Germany, you can terminate the unlimited tax liability. And a German doing that is then simply said no longer taxable in Germany. Tax liability then exists in the country in which he permanently resides. But this regulation is valid in many countries worldwide, so one could live tax-free by just commuting between several countries. And there are people even on YouTube doing just that. And even though I reside in the Philippines, this video simplifies things, of course, so this video is neither tax nor legal advice. So, who wants to have the topic of taxes explained in more detail, please Google it yourself. I'm a German and have no idea about tax laws in different countries. All the above said leads to the conclusion for people on tourist visa. As a tourist, you can stay up to 3 years in the Philippines and work as a freelancer. You should not brag about it, of course, because one could say there's always bad people out there that like to get a commission if they make illegal foreigners obvious. And now we come to the most important part for all the regular people. All others who want to work regularly in the Philippines who do not have a tourist visa, you people will need one of the many visas that entitle you to work. The best known visas are the 9G, work visa, 13A, married and allowed to work, and the SRRV, retired and allowed to work, and others for special cases. The visa alone allows you to work, but for a job you always need the additional and per job individual work permit from DOL, the AEP, Alien Employment Permit. The 9G is always for a specific job, while the 13A and the SRRV are generally suitable for working. So if you have a 13A or SRRV, it is easier, because if you don't have a visa, you always need to apply for the 9G work visa too. Also, not to forget, it is necessary that visa and AEP must be ready before your contract starts. The procedure for all these documents takes a few weeks of waiting. But don't worry, the bureaucracy and the cost will be covered by the employer who wants to hire you. If you want to have the fun on reading up on it, you can find in the pages of DOL. I linked them in the explanation of the video too. For established companies that have hired foreigners frequently, the process for visa and AEP takes about a month. It can take longer in case the company has not done such a process before, so you should monitor it, and in case they seem to be inexperienced, reach out to them and advise them to consult and hire a visa agency. If all goes well, your future employer will send you many documents to fill out. It may be necessary to even send in your original passport. All this bureaucracy is necessary, but you just have to wait it out. It costs you nothing except time. It is also important to know that the AEP is only valid for that one specific job and only for 1 year. It must be renewed annually, and it is firmly linked to that one specific job. So you can't just change jobs or employers and take your AEP with you. You always have to apply for it again. And because visa and AEP cost your employer money, they might include a clause to your contract that you have to reimburse their expenses fully or proportionally if you do not work an agreed minimum duration. But that's really all for it. In fact, it is quite simple, and with a serious company, everything will work smoothly. For those of you now like to work but don't know where to look, in the next video coming soon, I will explain where best to find jobs and how the hiring process works. And I will explain what problems and surprises one can run into or must pay attention to. I hope you had fun and got some knowledge. Till the next video then, bye bye.